So hi, in this video we will learn about Mina protocol. We will look into what problem does Mina solve, how does Mina solve those problems. We will also look into zero knowledge proof and we will look into the advantages of Mina over any other blockchain. So let's just go to first segment of our video, which is what problem does Mina solve. So let's just look into this diagram. So this is my little representation of a blockchain. And we all know time passes, as time will pass, more and more block will get added to it. As more and more blocks will get added, the blockchain size will increase, right? So basically what I am saying, as the time will pass, the blockchain size will also increase. So we now know that blockchain size increases with time, right? Now let's look at this chart. What is this chart, you may ask? So basically this chart in the x-axis represent time and in the y-axis represent the size of blockchain, which is Bitcoin in our case. So basically what this chart shows is the increase of the blockchain size with time. So as you can see, it was around it was less than 100 GB in 2014, and in 2016 it was around 100 GB, and now at the time of making this video it is around 250 GBs. So you may be thinking, okay, but where is the problem? So basically, due to the increase in the size of blockchain, many people do not run a full node. What is a full node, you may ask? So let's just go back to our previous diagram. Let's say you decided to join as a block producer. So when you will join the network, the blockchain, you will have to start verifying the blockchain from the very start, from the genesis. If you want to run a full node, there are some other stuff like you can run a light node, but basically that light node requires trust. But if you want to be really decentralized, you have to run a full node. So you decided to join the blockchain, so you have to start verifying the blockchain from the very start, no matter whether you where you join. Let's say you joined here, you will still have to verify all of this. Let's say you joined here, you will still have to verify all of this. So this verifying part takes a lot of time, and it is nearly impossible to do that on an ordinary laptop. Coming back to our current slide, so due to this fact, there are many people who are not running a full node. You can see this is a chart from 2017 to 2020, and in the y-axis there is number of nodes. In the x-axis there is time. So with time, you can see whether it is Bitcoin or Ethereum, their popularity is getting increased, but the number of full node is either decreasing or is constant. It is not increasing at all. Why? Because of the blockchain size. So now we know that blockchain size is not good for decentralization. Now let's see how Mina solves this problem. So Mina make use of something known as GK snarks. What are GK snarks, you may ask? So basically GK snark is a proof for any fixed size computation. Whenever there is a fixed size computation, you can generate a proof for it, and this proof will tell you that this computation had happened. So the question is how Mina make use of it. So what Mina does is, basically, this is our blockchain, right? This comprises of blocks, and each blocks has a fixed number of transactions. So basically this all of this is a fixed size computation. So what we can do for this entire blockchain, we can produce a GK snark. And this process of generating GK snarks is done recursively. What I mean by this is, once we have a computational proof for the blockchain, there will be more block that will get added to it, right? And as soon as we will get a new block, this is a new block, and as soon as it will get added, we will produce a new snark for this. and then we will have a new block. When we will have a new block, we will again produce a snark for this. So at any moment, you will have a one snark and one block. And as soon as a new block is produced, we will generate a new snark, right? Now you may ask, okay, this is really impressive that we can compress the entire blockchain into a snark plus block kind of thing, right? Now you may be thinking how costly the generation of the snark is. So it is not that costly, because at any moment we will have a proof. Let's say this is our n minus 1 snark, and then we will have a new block. So we will again create a computational proof for this, which will be proportional to the number of transactions in this block. So at any moment, the generation of a new block, new snark, will be proportional to the number of the transaction in the block. Okay, and one more thing, what do you mean by this GK? So this GK means zero knowledge. And what do I mean by this? Let's just look into that. So the proofs that we were generating are actually a zero knowledge proof. And what do I mean by this? Let's understand with the help of an example. So here we have an ordinary man and here we have Meena man. So what Meena man says is, I'm gonna pick a card. He says okay. Let's see what happens next. Then this man, Meena man, chooses a card and he claims that this is a red card. The card that he chose is a red card. He makes a claim, right? This guy right here does not believe him. What does he say? He says, what? I don't believe you. Prove it. What card is it? Now just look into it. Does Meena man has to do to prove him that the card he has chosen is actually a red card? There are actually two options. One is he can actually show him the card, that this is the card, this is 5 of hearts or whatever it is. He can actually show him that this is the card that he claims to be red is actually red. Or the other way, he could prove it without giving any knowledge to this guy, and he chooses this second path, which we will call zero knowledge proof. So how does he manage to do that? Basically what he does is he gave him all the 26 cards, 26 black cards here, and he still has his red card and all the other 25 red card somewhere else. So basically, since all the 26 black cards are here, this cannot be a black card, right? If this would be a black card, there would be only 25 black cards here, right? So without actually showing him the card, he never showed him this card, right? He actually told him that he can count that all the other black cards are here, and which are 26. An ordinary deck is of 52 cards, which comprises of 26 black cards and 26 red cards, right? Since 26 black cards are here, this card must be a red card. He says, agree. I am convinced that that is a red card. And there he goes crying, and he's happy. He says, yeah, go away. I know GK snarks. Meena man 1, ordinary man 0. Let's take another example. Here, ordinary man and Meena man are actually captured in a room. This ordinary man asks, do you know any way we can get out of this room? So Meena man claims to have the passcode which will open this exit door. And again, this ordinary man does not believe him. Again, he has two options now. Either he can tell him the passcode, right? He can tell him the passcode and he can unlock the door. Or he can just walk out of this door. And this is what Meena Man did. He simply just used that passcode and opened the door and came out of this house. And this guy is still stuck here. Since he is out, he now believes, this ordinary man now believes that he had that passcode, right? So these are some few examples of zero knowledge. Basically, Minaman manages to convince him that he knows the passcode without actually telling him the passcode. In the previous example, Minaman actually manages to convince him that the card that he holds is a red card without actually telling him what card it was. So you can notice that in this example there is a prover and there is a verifier. What zero knowledge means that prover can prove something to the verifier without increasing his knowledge level. I hope I made my point clear. Now let's sum up what we have learned until now. So what we have learned that other blockchains, how other blockchain works. So basically this is a very long blockchain, right? So let's say you joined here, you want to join here as a block producer. So you have to verify the entire blockchain, which will take time because the blockchain size is very large. While in case of Mina, let's say you want to join at this block, right? So you will just have to download this proof, which is only of size of kbs, 22 kb, right? So you can just download this proof, which will tell you that if you would have verified the blockchain, you would be satisfied with it. There is no trust involved. Remember, this is a proof, right? And you can download this proof and start producing more blocks. So in a nutshell, Mina wallet can sync from nothing to full node in 22 kb. Why 22 kb? Because this snark that we have downloaded is of 22 kb only, and we do this. We remember we produce these snarks recursively. As soon as there is a new block, we will produce a new snark for this, right? So the size of the blockchain is limited to 22 kb always. And since you have to download only 22 kb, you can do that in milliseconds and you can start verifying. I hope I made my point clear. So let's just look into the advantages of Mina protocol over other blockchains. So basically it is scalable. How it is scalable? It should be quite simple by now. Whenever a new block is getting added, it produces a new proof for it, and whenever a new block is getting added, it will again produce a new proof for it. So no matter how many blocks will get added to it, it will always be only of size of 22 kb. So it is pretty scalable, right? It is secure, as this proof is zero knowledge proof, and it is decentralized. How it is decentralized? It will make the blockchain more decentralized, as since it is of 22 kb of size, since it is of only 22 kb in size, more and more people can run a full node. Remember, we discussed this in the starting that full node does not require trust, but running a light node or any other form of node requires trust. So, since more and more people will run a full node, because it will be easy for them to sync up no matter when they join the blockchain, right? So, more people will run the full node and it will make the blockchain more decentralized. So, yeah, that is it. I'm sorry my English is not that good, but I hope I was able to make my point clear. So, this Mina project is really exciting, right? I will leave links to their Telegram or Discord. You can join their community, or you can. I will leave the link to their website. You can have a look at their website also. Thank you. Thank you for watching. Bye.